Hey, my name's Nick. I'm with Sunshine State RVs in Gainesville, Florida. We are the #1 Class B RV dealership in the state of Florida. We are now #2 in the whole United States of America. That has happened here in the last month that we jumped from #3 to #2. We were hovering for like 5 years around #3, and we just made the jump. It's a huge accomplishment for our team here in Gainesville, Florida. One of the big reasons why is because we get awards like this. This is the Flying W Award. We have received it for the last 5 years in a row. It's the top 10% of all Winnebago dealers get it, or 10% of all Winnebago dealers have it. The other 90% do not. And the way you get it is by having great customer service, by taking care of your customers, by getting the reviews, by doing all the service and sales, everything. Winnebago has like 10 measurables that we have to meet in order to get this Flying W Award. So they have recognized that we are one of the top, not just in sales, but also in service, after the sale and before the sale dealers. So very cool. I love this little thing. I mean, I feel like this is like a weapon. Like I'm gonna cut. I mean, this is serious hardware, right? I got these lined up all on my desk. But anyways, today we're gonna be talking about the brand new 2026 Winnebago Revel. So that is what is behind me. It is a Sprinter, Mercedes Sprinter 144. It's about 19 feet long. It has 16,800 kilowatts of Lithionics lithium batteries, which is a ton. Has a 35-gallon freshwater tank. It has heater, it has an air conditioner, it has a furnace. It has everything you need for off-the-grid camping. You can camp anywhere you want for almost as long as you want in this Revel. So being 19 feet long, it is all-wheel drive also. It has the capability of going off-road, has the capability of driving on the interstate very comfortably. It has the ladder, the roof rack, the wheels, the LED lights, and in the last year or so, Winnebago has upgraded everything on the inside also to be very, very comfortable. So there wasn't many changes from 25 to 26. We're gonna kind of go through this one here and talk about all of the capability, talk about all the off-grid capability that it has, all the technology, comfort, and everything else. So let's dive right into it. I'm gonna get an arm workout if I carry this thing around all day long, so I am gonna put this down if you don't mind. It might pop up here and there while we're talking through the RV. So very cool. Winnebago has made their own running boards. They've also made their own roof rack. They've made their own wheels also. These are all Winnebago Revel branded wheels. These are BF Goodrich tires, which are an all-terrain off-road tire. As you're coming here, it has the Mercedes LED headlights. It also has a possibility to have a winch. We've installed a lot of winches on these. We've also installed some different LED lights here. The last one we did was we installed some LED lights here in the grill. And that's a really, really cool one. We do so many different modifications on these. The last guy that bought one of these Revels, I think we ended up doing like $50,000 worth of modifications, from bigger fuel tanks to LED lights to winches to upgraded suspension. So Winnebago gives you the all-wheel drive stock Mercedes suspension. And so that's like a blank canvas. So depending on what kind of off-roading or rock crawling or beach climbing, whatever you're gonna be doing, you can upgrade the suspension to fit that. So we've used every type of Van Compass, the Agile, Invictus, every type of suspension that's available, we have upgraded on one of these Revels before. So here is their nice big running board. I like it because here they have little cutouts of little vans in the running board. So very cool. These do have a cassette toilet. They do not have a black tank. So this is a 5-gallon cassette toilet. So what you would do here is when you feel it's full, you would shake it, you weigh it, you go, hey, this is kind of full. And you would take it with you and you can walk it to wherever you're gonna dump it. You would pick it up, you would unscrew the lid like this, and then you'll dump it wherever you want to dump it. It's a brand new RV, so I wouldn't mind drinking out of it. Not really. But it is brand new, so no one's ever used it. That is why I touch it so freely. If this was a used RV, I would not be touching this so freely. When someone does buy a used one, I always tell my guys, just give them a brand new cassette. There's no reason to give someone a used cassette. Spend the $100, let's give them a good cassette, right? If this is daunting to you, if this is like, man, I could never do it, it's really not that heavy. So you pull it out, you pull this and you stick it on the ground and you can drag it. Then when you dump it, you can even dump it without picking it up. I mean, being 5 gallons, the most it can weigh is 40 pounds. 1 gallon weighs 8 pounds, I think. So You know, the most it can weigh is 40 pounds, so it's not that bad. And we actually teach you how to do all this at our dealership. You know, things like the cassette toilet, the Winnebago plug, the whole lithium system. You know, we will fly you here to Gainesville to pick up your new RV you buy from us, and whether you order it or we have it in stock. Once you come to Gainesville, we give you a very thorough walkthrough. So our guy Corey is super knowledgeable, very patient, and he will teach you how to use the cassette toilet, the plug, the lithium, the air conditioner, everything on this RV for as long as you need. Then once you've been taught and your brain is slammed full with all this information, we put you up for the first 2 nights at a local campground. So that way you can camp and you can test everything you just learned for the first 2 nights. Any issues, anything you don't remember, you come right back and we take care of you immediately. We're actually building a new RV dealership right now, and that new RV dealership is gonna have campsites at the dealership. So you buy, you camp on site, and then we're there to help you through everything you need. Or we'll deliver for free right to your front door anywhere in the country, which is pretty cool as well. Right now, about half of our customers are taking us up on the free delivery, and we are shipping these things all over the country. On Friday, we had 4 leave. Well, people never seen them. They just leave and they go all over the country. So that is one of the big reasons why we are growing to be the #2 dealer in the country, because so many people are putting their trust in us. They're seeing what we have, and then they are buying it without ever seeing it, which, you know, I get it. It takes a level of faith and trust, but hopefully over time we earn that with you. Something else that Winnebago does, a lot of brands buy their ladders and put them on. Winnebago makes their own, so they control it. So this is pretty neat. This is a nice, big, brand new ladder that Winnebago is using, and it's pretty strong as well. So I'm 236 pounds, 6 foot tall. I can get on here very easily. There is a roof rack on here with some solar. There's a roof access point. You can put stuff on this roof rack if you wanted. You might have to get rid of some of the solar or kind of play musical chairs with the space. Being that this is 19 foot tall, there's not a ton of room on here, but there's definitely some. But you can also strap things to this ladder. So if you did want to store things on the ladder, you can strap things with bungee cords or cases on the ladder. The other thing we've done here is installed spare tires or installed boxes too. One of the most unique things about the Revel that none of the other, I won't say adventure vans have that we sell, is this drop down bed. So from right here, you can see this is a wide open area. They give you these hooks, these hook places here, so that way you can store stuff in here during the day. If you want to store bikes or kayaks, canoes, skis, photography equipment. I know, Tim, my video guy here, was just in Alaska filming and taking pictures and all that. He didn't take an RV, but if you would have taken an RV, you can store all your film and video equipment here. You can lower the bed and sleep, raise it up, and you have access to all your stuff, which is pretty neat. But I love the space that's in here. So even with the bed up, you do have space to sit and to work, and they make a little desk that you can have here. But I love the amount of space that's in here, even with the drop down bed. I'll show you the bed a little bit later, but I wanted to show you kind of the access you get from the back here, so you can move around. This does lay flat if you wanted it to. It kind of has a lot of different configurations. Something else that's pretty cool here. So to make this kind of like a all-weather 4 seasons coach, one thing Winnebago does is they bring all their water inside the RV. They also give you a nice upgraded 3M insulation in the whole coach to make it more insulated than it needs to be. But they give you an outside shower. You got your freshwater valve, freshwater inlet, your water pump, all of that, normal and winterized, all of that is inside the coach. And then on this side here, this is where all your batteries are. So you have 2 big Lithionics batteries. You have 16.8 kW kilowatts of lithium batteries. You also have a either 3,000 or 3,600 watt inverter. Maybe we can flash that on the screen right now, whichever one it is. You have an underhood generator. You got 300 watts of solar. So all of these batteries can run this air conditioner, fridge, and lights for days. I mean, that is a ton of lithium, and it is all stored on this side. All of your water is stored, like I said, 35-gallon freshwater tank. That gives you a lot of off-the-grid capability, a lot of freedom to camp and go where you want without feeling like you have to get back to get some water, get back to get power. They give it to you in this 19-foot RV. So I love the space. They give you a screen also, so this screen kind of lays flat, so that way you can have these doors open without, there's like a million mosquitoes out here right now. You can have the screen down without the mosquitoes going into the RV, which is very neat. There are whole websites designed for modifications for these Revels. Canyon Adventures does a ton. There's a lot of websites that are designed, and they just give you every option to modify this for the way you want to use it. And I think Winnebago and a lot of these adventure van companies are smart to where they're kind of giving you more or less a blank canvas, so that way you can figure out the way you want to use it and buy all of those. Some people work from it, some people want nothing to do with the work when they're in it. So two different types of people, but the same van, right? So over here, you do have your awning. You know, Winnebago is the only one that has this bump out here to give you more space to sleep. You do have a Carefree power awning with LED lights. We're gonna jump in here and you're gonna see why the outside is rugged and tough. The inside is very comfortable, but it does give you kind of that element of, man, you're staying in a nice hotel and the outside can get you anywhere you wanna stay. So follow me inside and I think you're gonna fall in love with it. So I told you this thing was gonna pop up again, and somehow it popped up while we were inside. You know, one of the reasons why we are Flying W dealers is because of our Sunshine State Elite Club. You know, a lot of the stuff that we offer teaches you how to use the RV and just gives you a great experience, whether you get it delivered to you or whether you come here. We guarantee you service appointments within 5 days, tech support over the phone. We give you free Harvest Host. Harvest Host is one of the best things you can have when you own a camper. You can go camp anywhere in the country for free at these cool campsites that are either wineries or farms or restaurants or breweries. So lots of cool places you can camp also. But those are all things that come with buying from us, which is one of the reasons why we won, or how we won, one of the top Flying W awards. So we're inside this RV and you can really get a sense of the space. It is 19 feet, so it is one of the smaller Class B vans. It's about as small as they come. And then they get up to 24 feet, which is a little bigger. Winnebago kind of started the adventure van on this 19-foot chassis, and they have sold a ton, like thousands and thousands and thousands of these Revels. So this year in 2026, they've upgraded some stuff. They gave you some more comfortable seats here. They gave you some nicer kind of countertops. They upgraded some of the wood grain. They upgraded the lithium. So they've upgraded some of the EcoFlow as well. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I don't have everything completely memorized, but they have the Hydronic heating system. They have the best-in-class Lithionics 16,800 kilowatt battery. They have the 35-gallon fresh water. And the way it's set up is that you can still use it. It's this independent heat loop sensor to prevent freezing when temperatures drop below 40 degrees. The built-in BMS, you can charge this from completely dead to completely full in 2 hours because of the underhood generator. They do have the 3,600 watt inverter, which is nice. And then their 3M multi-layer gap-free 3M insulation coverage, composite floor. So all of that is kind of built in to this all new Revel. Well, they kind of revolutionized the adventure van game, and then they're even taking it a step further with what they do. So one of the big improvements in the last year are these very comfortable seats here. So these seats here are comfortable. They also move out. So if you do have two big guys sitting here, or in my situation, I got 4 kids, they need to have a little space. I can't put my 10 and 12-year-old next to each other without some type of divider. Maybe your kids are perfect and they don't elbow and pinch and give wet willies, but my kids are all very rambunctious and they are very adventurous with their siblings. So this is a very neat area. You do have the table here. You can work, you can color and play. You do have the second seat. These are very comfortable. They also have the child latches here. So if you did put a car seat in here, you can latch it there, you can latch it here. So they both have those things there. So you have a screen, you have night, You have a track here that you can hang things from. Lots of charging ports everywhere. So USB, USB-C, you have 110 plugs everywhere as well. So I like the amount of storage they give you, and these are locking storage. So this is a big storage compartment here. This is where the roof access port, I mentioned it earlier, where you can just run a wire. We can install Starlink in here very, very easily. Put the modem here, put the Starlink on the roof, and now you have internet everywhere you go. They do give you a couple screens here, and this is everything that, I don't know if I technically understand it all, but my guy Corey understands all of it, and he will teach you how to use the Timberline system, which is the propane-free heater, and the Winnebago EcoFlow system here. This is where you put the bed up and down, and these are your lights as well. So let's move this back over there. We can keep walking through here. So you do have the kitchen. So this fridge here, they do have some that have like the wood grain on the fridge, which is nice. This is the gray color. So that was already open. So here is a big drawer, so you can have the door open and be cooking. They do give you the awning style windows, so you can open the windows while you're cooking or while you're doing things. You can pass drinks in and out, or just for airflow. I like how they give you an extra cutting board here. So the kitchen area is a little smaller here, but then they give you the extension here so that way you have more room. I like to make ham and cheese sandwiches, fry some eggs. If I was gonna fry eggs here, I would remove this cover here. I would grab the induction stove and I would put it right on top here, just like this. I'd plug it into the power they give you. I'd fry my eggs here. My wife would make me open this so that way all the smoke would go outside, and then I could be cooking here and have the pan right there. So they do make the best of the 19-foot area that they give you. And this, if you don't want to use it, you can leave it at home. If you do want to use it, you can bring in this drawer. But if you didn't bring it, this is just a nice big drawer. You can put a lot of stuff in here. And this is also the extension for the countertop. So very easy to use and great, and located very great there. Some more equipment here, your awning lights, your power awning. You do have more lights here that you can use. More storage. You are not lacking storage in this 19-foot RV. So you have lots of drawers. And these drawers, all of this stuff here is meant to get wet. It's meant to get beat up, just like this floor here. So this floor here is very, very durable. If you have, cleats on, if you have hiking boots, if you have a dog running around back and forth, there's lots of flexibility in these floors here. So like I showed earlier, you do have this whole area here that you can access back and forth. But when it is time for bed, you have a button here that you'll press, and this bed drops. I don't know if you can see it with me standing here. This bed drops very quickly and easily. And then you can just kind of climb in. And like I said a minute ago, Winnebago has the pop outs here. So you can be sleeping. I am 6 foot tall and I have plenty of space here for me and somebody else. So there is room there as well. So me and my wife could sleep back here. The air conditioner is back here. If you did want privacy, there is the privacy screen there. If you did have your kids in the front and you wanted to sleep, my kids would make me lower this when I sleep because they tell me I snore. I don't know if I believe that all the time, but they tell me I do. So they would want me to lower this so that way my snoring wouldn't make it to the front where they are camping. But even when this is down, there is still room underneath there. If you had a dog crate or a cat, or if you wanted a kid to put a sleeping bag, your kid could easily sleep under there and you could sleep on top. And then when you're done, you can leave the bed made up. You press a button and it just goes all the way up to the ceiling, and you wouldn't have to really unmake the bed or store all the comforters or pillows somewhere. Everything could stay there. And with it up, you now have, like I showed a minute ago or earlier, you have a desk area back here. So they make desks you can have, they make storage bins, they make pull-outs, they make a million different things you can do back here with this space. And a lot of it's gonna depend on how you camp. How many people do you camp with? Where do you go? What do you do? And it can be as flexible as you are, it can be as modified and personalized as you need it to be. So I really like what Winnebago's done with this area back here. I like what they've done with the floor, their insulation. Their lithium batteries are very impressive. The 19-foot Sprinter chassis gives you the capability of doing a lot and going a lot of places. Something else that is pretty nice about this Revel is this big bathroom. So right now we have a shelf here. These are some of the shades. So we have a shelf here that you can leave in if you're not going to actually use the bathroom. If you want to put things on here to dry. If you did want to get rid of it, you can just stick it there and you use the bathroom. There again, we are in a 19-foot RV, so space is at a premium. So there is room to sit in here. There's room to stand and shower. Nice little fancy mirror. So a nice double door bathroom there. If you did need some more privacy, this here kind of gives you that privacy. So if you did want to leave the door open where you can sit on it, this thing folds out for a little extra privacy there. So Winnebago trying to think of everything, but like they say, you can only put 5 pounds of mud in a 5-gallon bucket. So you're only putting, I mean, they do a lot in this 19-foot chassis. They do a lot in here with luxury, with technology. They do a lot on the outside with capability, with flexibility, and their goal for you is to be able to off-road, off the grid as much and as long as you want. So storage-wise, insulation, lithium, everything that they're thinking about, water, hot water, heater, they're thinking about where you're gonna go, what are you gonna do, and how you're gonna do it. And Winnebago's done a great job of being creative and giving you something that nobody else is bringing to the market with the drop-down bed and everything else that Winnebago does. So very proud to be a Flying W dealer for the last 5 years in a row, and very glad that we get to represent a cool product like this. So if you're looking for adventure vans, we have a lot of them, not just the Revel. We have Storyteller. We have a lot of different, Midwest makes a cool one, Heritage. We have a lot of different adventure vans at our lot, and we sell a lot of them. That has been something in the last couple of years that has really grown in popularity, is the adventure van space, and we are all in with the modifications, the vans, the lifestyle, everything. We are all in. So check out our other videos, check out our website, and I really appreciate you watching this. And hopefully, if you're looking for a 19-foot adventure van, the Winnebago Revel is on your list.